Good afternoon. The Secretary General will now brief you on the working sessions of this Foreign Ministerial meeting.
Good afternoon. We have just finished an excellent meeting of the NATO foreign ministers here in Brussels, and it was a very good atmosphere around the table, and we made good progress in the preparations for the meeting of heads of state and government, which is going to take place on the 25th of May here at the NATO headquarters. The meeting in May will focus on two main topics. First, we will discuss how we can strengthen the transatlantic bond through fair burden sharing. We all agree that we have to implement what we agreed in 2014 on defense investment. We have already made progress with a $10 billion rise in defense spending among European allies and Canada last year. But we must keep up the momentum. One option we are examining is national plans to deliver on the commitments we have made. These national plans could have three elements: how nations intend to meet the 2014 pledge on defense investment, how to invest in the additional funding in military capabilities that we need, and how nations intend to contribute to NATO's operations, missions, and other engagements. So this is about cash, capabilities, and commitments to deployments. All three are important. Second, we discussed NATO's response to terrorism. Last week, attack in London killed and wounded people from 11 different nations. It was one of many attacks allies have seen in recent months. It was again an attack on us all. And a reminder that we must all step up our efforts. NATO is helping stabilizing our neighborhood. In Afghanistan, the Balkans, the Aegean Sea, and in supporting our partners. We are also establishing a hub for the South in Naples. But NATO has untapped potential to do more. One of our best tools in the fight against terrorism is training local forces, helping them to build up their own capabilities to counter and contain terrorist threats. In Iraq, we are helping local forces to better counter ISIL, including with training to counter improvised explosive devices, or IEDs. In the last few days, NATO supplied 160 sets of counter-IED equipment to the Iraqi Ministry of Interior. This equipment will help save lives. And today, we decided to step up our efforts inside Iraq, including with military medicine courses to train new paramedics and help to maintain tanks and armored fighting vehicles. We can provide real expertise which makes a real difference. This is good for Iraq's security, and it's good for NATO's security. Ahead of our meeting in May, we will also examine a range of other ideas to tap NATO's potential in fighting terrorism. We also assess the situation in the Western Balkans. We agree that we must maintain our presence, our focus, and our engagement in this region, which is key to Europe's security. Montenegro is about to become the 29th member of our alliance and already has a seat at the table. I welcome this week's ratification vote in the US Senate. Montenegro's succession to the NATO family of democratic nations will contribute to the stability of the region and the whole of Europe. And I expect all nations to fully complete ratification in June. The High Representative Federica Mogherini, as well as ministers from Finland and Sweden, also joined us today to discuss our united approach to Russia. Credible defense and deterrence provide a strong foundation for our dialogue with Russia. And yesterday's meeting of the NATO-Russia Council was a clear demonstration of our commitment to dialogue. We closed the ministerial with a meeting of the NATO-Ukraine Commission. NATO is providing strong political and practical support to Ukraine. Through 6 active trust funds, around 35 million euros have been allocated, providing training and advice to over 2,000 Ukrainian civil and military personnel. And just today, a rehabilitation facility for wounded service personnel opens in Kharkiv, paid for by NATO's Medical Rehabilitation Trust Fund. And NATO allies also provide significant support. I welcome that several allies announced today that they will offer assistance to Ukraine following the explosion at the Balaklia arms depot. This is yet another clear demonstration of NATO solidarity with Ukraine. And with that, I'm ready to take your questions.